Good morning, Rick. How are you?
Hey, good morning, Keith. I'm fine. How about yourself?
I'm doing really well, thank you. I want to do this episode because someone asked us to, and the title is Aging and Our Perception of What We Think It Should Be Like. And I just want to read something to you before I go any further. I received this email just yesterday. I'm about to turn 76 years old.
Hmm.
If it weren't for you and your commitment to me and ToBeRe almost 20 years ago, I'd probably be dead. Instead, today I did a 6 mile mountain bike solo for time, 1 hour, 49 minutes. Hit the gym for the same workout I've done since you taught me. Weighed in at 183 pounds. I started to be re with you at 227. The picture enclosed was taken tonight by a 34-year-old attractive female at a restaurant who asked to take my picture because she liked my style. Everybody likes your style. I could weep with joy and gratitude for you, Keith. Thank you, and I love you. By the way, see the water bottle in the picture? No booze either. The person who wrote this was you. So thank you for the email, Rick. The credit goes to you for just staying on this path for so many years. And so, what better person to begin this conversation about aging and our perception of what we think it should be like? Why don't you kick us off?
Well, yeah, I hate to make this personal. I mean, honestly, I meant that mo more for you than I did for anybody else, and I just wanted to express the feeling of lightheartedness and connection with life that I realized as an old guy that probably I never would have realized past the age of 50 if it weren't for you. And when I started with the practice, I had no idea what was about to happen to me because the transformation was so strong. Losing 50 pounds or 45 or whatever the heck it was I lost wasn't really the point of it. The point of it was to re-engage with something that was missing. And that re-engagement covered a lot of different areas. I was dull. Um, I felt like I was in a haze. I had some problems with memory. I felt like I was declining. And the only reason I think I got into ToBeRe is because I saw the advertisement about if if your life is so perfect, why don't you feel good? And I thought, here I am at the peak of my career making a lot of dough, pretty wife, mansion, and yet that was exactly me. I wasn't happy, and the reason I wasn't happy is because physically and mentally, emotionally, psychologically, I had lost something. And that loss was something I was going to be comfortable with because I figured that's what it means to get old. That's what it means to age. You had your day, now it's over. Just relax into the waiting room of death. That's kind of how I felt when I started with To Be Re. All that changed. And what changed was it was not necessarily a recapturing of youth, but it was a way of looking at life that had nothing to do with my age. It had to do with embracing a life force. It had to do with reevaluating where I was and getting rid of those habits which brought me to where I was. There is no such thing as a natural way of developing. You have to take control of your development. And that's what TubeRe taught me. Nutrition is up to you. So is fitness. So is your mindset about what bothers you. So is your mindset about judging other people and yourself. And how in the world can you get through that unless you have help? And so the point of me writing that story was to acknowledge your help at a time in my life when I was lost. Even though the outside world would think I had all the badges of accomplishment, I was miserable. And now I'm more or less broke and happy as hell.
Rick, I love that. But yeah, you get back to what really matters, and some people think that what matters are some of the trappings that we have defined make up success, and but that's because you think those things will lead to success. But if you tell people, I just want to be happy, then okay, cut the middleman out and just be happy, right? I think if I get this title or I earn this salary or live in this neighborhood or my kids get in this school or whatever, I'll be happy. And then you get those things and you're not, because that's not what it really is about. It's because you thought those things is what will lead you there. But instead, it's just like, just be happy. And when it comes to the conversation or the question about aging, Tim and I say all the time that you can't let up because you're our future. Like like you show us what's possible. So, we are 20, so years your junior. And so we are like watching you, with incredible admiration and love because you are living you're talking about a purpose-driven life. You're living a purpose-driven life with how you honor the gift that you've been given. It often, I guess, amazes me, not in a judgmental way, but more in an observation way of how we treat the gifts that we're given.
Mm.
And one gift that we're given is, for most of us, our bodies, our minds, our hearts, and we don't honor them by the way that we live. With the body, lack of sleep, inconsistent or poor nutrition, all the other things that go with that, with the vices, with our heart, with how we hold on to slights and perceived slights and resentments or bad experiences, and with our mind, the judgments that we make about other people. I mean, all those things is like, this is how you're treating this gift that you've been given that is in this form, it's gone like that. And so when I woke up, like, man, I really want to honor this thing. I joke with people all the time, like, man, when I go, like, you got to harvest these organs, man, because somebody's going to hit a jackpot. Like, I have been a good steward for these organs. I mean, seriously. And also with the mind, with what I allow in it, and with my heart, maintain an open heart. And every second, it's not like things don't come up that my heart wants to close. We just got to deal. We're not closing. Like my mind has no, we're doing a growth mindset. I know you don't want to do it. That's why we're doing it. Because you're not the boss in here. And I think when it came to aging, I remember having that conversation with someone when I was 30, and I was, leading a retirement plan in a town here in Arizona. And I remember walking into someone's office who was, 25 years older than me at the time. And, she said, man, Keith, how you doing? I said, man, it's my birthday. She's like, you don't sound happy for somebody's birthday is. I said, I just turned 30. I said, I just turned 30 today. And she was like, 30. She's like, oh my God, that's such a great age. At 30 years old, like you're finally out of like the immaturity of your 20s. And
Yeah.
wait till you get to 40. Like what? Like 40 is going to be all set. Like, and then 50, I mean, I was like, let's go. Like I was ready for my next birthday, Rick. I mean, that's how she had me pumped up. But she was like, if you approach life in that way, and when I reflect back on my parents and their parents, man, when you got to a certain age, like it's like you dropped off a cliff about what you thought was possible. And now, I see some signs of people living a really active life in so many ways, not only what they can do physically, but also the kind of people they spend their time around. They spend their time around active, loving people. And so that helps increase or expand their capacity to be active and loving because there's many more opportunities to do it. And, you're around like-minded people, man, that energy just is exponential. So my perception of aging has really changed a lot with my own with things that I do, but equally has been impacted by you and how you live your life and how you show up. So I'm super grateful for if anyone out there is listening to this, I mean, don't do what's convenient and comfortable for your mind and your body. That will not get you where you go. I started to see people start to like ease off on their workouts. I'm like, okay. Like seriously, like when you're younger, you can stay a step or two ahead of Father Time. But at a certain tipping point, Father Time is like side by side. And then what you could do, is not one, and then it becomes not one for one. Father Time is doing two for one, and so you have to like keep pace. So you can't, you can't let up if you want to live a life that's active and vibrant. And the same thing goes with everything else is you can't allow yourself to be bogged down or in the grip of your personal mind because you can't keep up with it. I mean, it gets stronger and stronger and more negative and more fear-based and all these other things and more selfish. And so does the heart. And so it gets more attached to things being a certain way. And but if you're a person who's like, man, you hear people say I'm young at heart. Okay, show me, because I don't see it. Like show me that you are young at heart. And you practice that, Rick, and you have really redefined what aging means to me. And it's a beautiful thing. I'm like, man, when I get 76, dude, like here we go. So, Rick, I just want to close and say thank you
Mm.
for, the note that you sent me. Thank you for being an example for me, and I love you.
Yeah, you're choking me up, man. That's too much. I'll meet you at the squat rack, okay?
Let's go. That's the best gift you can give me, man. Best gift. So, well,
All
thank
right,
you, Rick.
brother.
I love you.